Hi there, I'm the Utopia Trainer. I hope you're well. Right, so it's Holy Friday, Good Friday, and came to a thought today about what that's got to do with Utopia. And you're going to think, I'm going to switch off now. This is a Christian sermon. It's not. This is now a secular understanding of Holy Friday from an anti-fascist perspective. So it goes like this. I was once at an anti-fascist demo and a fascist threw a bottle at me, which hit me right here. And afterwards, I was rushed to hospital. I had to be given stitches. In the next few days, began to develop vision problems in this. Couldn't really see properly out of it. Things went all blurry. And yeah, this was a bad time. I was just traumatized for a bit, like anyone would after such a violent attack. And one of the things that occupied me afterwards, what's the meaning of this? What does this bring? What did I achieve? What did we, the anti-fascist protesters, achieve? And I was thinking, nothing. We achieved nothing because the demo just carried on. We didn't block them. For all the good that blocking does, it's only one thing, but we didn't even block them because there was loads of them and very few of us. And the people who were outraged by what happened would be the kind of people who'd be outraged anyway. I mean, it did change the tactics, and the local administration changed after this attack how they would then deal with the protests. But the protesters, what they're doing, the fascist thing is still happening. They're still doing their march. So, yeah. So, an act of violence, and then afterwards there's the question of violence. So excuse a bit of theology now. I studied a bit of theology. And I think like with the events of, if you're Christian or not, let's just say, if someone has been killed in a brutal way, then there is the question of what is the meaning of this? And the meaning is not always immediately apparent. And in the Christian belief, it wasn't the case that the crucifixion happened, then people are like, I know exactly what's happening now, I know what this means. No, it took time for people to understand it. So I think this is something anyone can go with, if they are Christian, religious or not, namely that it can be a traumatic, violent episode, and the meaning of it is not immediately apparent. Now, a book I was talking about when I went live on Christmas Day, called Hope by Rebecca Solnit, was also talking about this. It was saying that the events that we see are it's not always clear what the meaning of them is. And she was talking like the Iraq War. And she was saying, okay, millions went on the street to protest against it. I was one of them, about 2 million in London. But the war happened anyway, and people died. And she was saying, well, it looked on the one side that we lost, but on the other side, maybe if it wasn't for the huge protest against the Iraq War, maybe there would have been a lot more of the shock and awe, like carpet bombing, blanket bombing, can't remember the word, of Baghdad. Maybe more civilians would have died. So maybe we did put some kind of limit on what happened. Maybe, or maybe not. But the point is that we analyze our current experiences from the current day, and the effects of certain events are not always clear. And from the slightest thing, bigger things can happen. All kinds of things can be sparked. And maybe at the time you don't actually know what is happening. So, therefore, I believe that for us, whether you're an anti-fascist or whether you're working against climate change, I do not believe in illusion. I do not believe in delusion, I say, deluding ourselves. I do not believe in saying, okay, for example, we'll get these people, we do like me as a trainer, we do a workshop, and afterwards few people are going to be more critical about the consumption. I think, no, this is a false feeling of pride. This is a false feeling of we've achieved something, because we need so much more than dealing with consumption. So I do not believe in deluding ourselves. I do not believe in just believing in something just for the sake of it, to make us feel good about ourselves. At the same time, we do have the power to choose what we believe. And we have the power to believe in things, to decide to believe in things that are emancipationary. This doesn't mean just doing anything and believing is very good. No, we should have this critical consciousness. At the same time, we can have the consciousness of fantasy, of utopia. So in the default mode network of our brain, the whole question of our identity is stored on the border between the unconscious and the unconscious, the conscious and the unconscious. And we can have some key beliefs, and these beliefs can really influence the actions that we do, and these actions can really have an impact upon whether we are successful or not. So, looking back to this violent attack on me, what happened afterwards was that straight away some strangers kind of picked me up and took me away, and this nurse, this sort of retired nurse, gave me help. And a friend of my wife, her mother's like one of the best eye doctors, I can't remember, the oculist around, and she took me in, and she's private, she normally cost a bomb to go and see her, but I saw her for free. So because of that, I had very high quality private healthcare for this eye, and I needed to have it very quickly as well, because the doctor was like worried when I told about the effects of the eye. So the message that one can take is that in the moments of violence, that people were altruistic and helpful. And in fact, as Rebecca Solid says in her book Hope, it's been shown that in all kinds of trauma and upheaval and natural disaster or like bombing, the general reaction of people is that they will behave in a way that helps other people. So this is something that really we need to hold on to. Because often when I'm talking with people about changes to society, I'm often confronted with the belief that people have that people are selfish. And therefore, this is our human nature. And when people think this, they think like it's like a natural thing. And that the way that people are behaving now is totally like predestined, like it was always going to be like this, without taking into account the way in which people have been brought up. In schools, the whole value of competition, which is installed into our children and into us as adults, through schools, through the media, through having to compete to get grants, to do all kinds of things. So we have the choice to decide what we believe about ourselves. And whatever kind of work you are dealing with, whether it is, say, you're a yoga instructor, whether you're a breathwork instructor, whether you're a coach, whether you're a political educator, whether you are working against climate change for degrowth, all these kind of things, we all need to be very careful about the beliefs that we have about A, what we are, and B, what is possible, what we can possibly do. So my message to you is, how about we choose to believe really emancipationary things about ourselves? Because belief causes action. You can come with me maybe on that, yeah? If you believe that you are stupid, then maybe you're not going to be applying for the job that really is the kind of thing for you, for example. This is a consequence from your belief. If you believe that you're not lovable, therefore you will do some self-harming behavior. Our beliefs really do affect the outcomes that we have in life. And, sorry, I got a bit loud there because I really want to make this point. And a lot of psychology is about taking responsibility for the key things that we believe about ourselves. And we can change our beliefs. So how about we believe that we can win? How about we believe that people are helpful and altruistic? And how about we believe that we are just brilliant, creative people who have the resources that we have enough? I think here there's a good interplay between political work and wellness. I think there's a crossover here. So what do you think about that? Right. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel and to like this video. Yeah. So I'm going to wish you a good weekend. Whatever religion you belong to, or if you don't belong to any religion, I'm going to wish you a real boss weekend. Bye, everyone.